Hey, Kara, good to see you. Let me just organize this, try to be fancy with some cool music. Hope that gets you guys all pumped up for the World Stage Challenge. Hello, Daniel, good to see you, man. Rashid Uncle is here tuning in. Obet, hey, man, good to see you. Who else is here? Anna is here. Alan is here. Uzair, oh, looking very sharp. Nice one. Darina, good to see you. Hello, Dinushi, Emma, Mel, and Greg. Hey, man, good to see you. And Kara. Well, people are streaming in. We're going to get started and let me share. Moving on. The World Stage Challenge. Uh, who's pumped up? I'm going to try some webinar style stuff. So type a one in the chat if you are pumped up. Let's go. Let's go. Or you can type something else in the chat. But yes, very exciting. So we're going to get into it pretty quickly. Basically, oops. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, no. Gotta play this again. That's right. Can you guys hear the music or is it gone?
Is it gone now?
It's gone. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right, awesome. We don't need that again. Although I thought it was pretty cool. So, the World Stage Challenge, before we dive in, this has been a year in the making. Our very first one was just about a year ago. A few familiar faces there. Javaria, we had Eleanor and Manisha all there as well. It was called Speech Day. Then it evolved into a slightly bigger one for the Speak to Lead program with we have Mel there. Who else was part of that? Javaria, of course, is there too. Daniel came and joined. Emma was there as well. Anna came along as well. And then last December, we had the World Stage Challenge, of course, as well as the official first World Stage Challenge there. That was a lot of fun. And then today being the second World Stage Challenge. So very exciting. Cool to see this evolve over time and that it has grown one step at a time, one event at a time. And we see a couple of constant themes here, Javaria in each of these as well. So Javaria has had plenty of practice with the World Stage. Nice one. What we're doing today. We're going to hear three speeches, no wheel of names today. We're just going to jump in. Everyone knows their order. We're going to start with the lovely Anna and then Mr. Björn. Is Björn here? Yeah, there. Oh,
No.
speak of the devil. There we go. He's come, just arrived. Awesome. So Björn will be there. Then next will be Dinushi. We're going to play a little game just to break it up. I have a very quick little announcement to make. Then Emma, Javaria, Uzair, some closing remarks, and then an actual final round of voting, which I'll need to just quickly mention. Straight after this call, I'm going to uh, basically create and set that poll to be live. So there'll be a final round, another 48 hours to vote for your number one winner. Cool. Lovely. Are you guys ready? Who's pumped? Let's do it. Awesome. See some emojis and some pumped stuff in the chat. Very good. Let's get into it. So, uh, hey Björn, good. Welcome. Good to see you. And Ruth is tuning in as well. Hey Krista. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So, all right. First up is the lovely Anna, who reigns from Poland. She's a landscape architect. She first joined Oracy Club in June 2025. But actually, as Anna mentioned a few weeks ago, our first conversation was much longer than that. It was probably at least 6 months before that. She reached out to me to actually something to do with a gift for Sam Venables from the Deep Dive English community. And yeah, then we got chatting, and I remember mentioning something like, "Hey, you should join RSC Club." You know, it's kind of cheeky. She said, "Oh, maybe in the future." And now she's our first speaker at the World Stage Challenge. So very exciting. Anna, very much, in my opinion, is the epitome of a real lifelong learner. She's very curious, and no wonder why she's an integral part of this community where we're all learning and growing all the time. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Anna to the stage. Give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing. Anna, you can take a minute to get ready, and whenever you're ready, please share with us.
Uh, Thank you so much, Ben, for all these very kind words of you about me. Yeah, my ego got just so boosted, so thank you so much.
Awesome.
And
Hope
yeah,
that gives you extra confidence.
thank you so much. Do you give me a sign to start?
You can start whenever you're ready. So feel free to take 20 seconds, 30 seconds, have a breath, and when you're ready, you can begin.
Have you ever drawn a conclusion and let it limit you for years? For me, it was over a decade of learning foreign languages at school, only to find out that when I finally got the chance to use the language I learned in real life, I failed completely. Not only I couldn't speak, I couldn't even understand a thing. The experience was painfully embarrassing. I didn't want. I accepted the verdict. Languages were not my thing. And I believed that for my whole adult life. Until one day, I didn't have to anymore. It started with a Facebook post. It was summer 2023, and I was planning to go to a music festival. It was a few hours' drive from my home, the kind of place that is nearly impossible to reach without a car. A few months earlier, I had joined a group online about this festival, and there I saw a post. Someone's friend was coming from the UK, and they were looking for a lift from Berlin. The post had been sitting there for days. No comments, no responses. She was British, she didn't speak Polish, and at that time, I couldn't speak English. But I had a car, and I had almost 2 months before the festival. So I thought, maybe this is the universe giving me a nudge. So I reached out and offered to pick her up on my way. And she was happy to have me. So from the next morning, I put in my headphones and started listening. Lessons designed for English learners, nothing too complicated, just real spoken English in a simpler version. Cleaning the house, I was listening. Weeding the garden, I was listening. Driving, doing dishes, hanging laundry, ironing, shopping. I was listening for hours, every single day. I even bought a second pair of headphones, just in case the first ones ran out of battery. Soon, I started shadowing, and then talking. At first, just to myself. Then I asked my husband to play board games with me in English. At some point, I even started having dreams in English. But the time flew quickly, and then the day came. It felt too soon. I drove to the train station. The train pulled in, and this girl stepped onto the platform, smiling broadly, carrying way too many bags for a camping trip. She looked at me and said, "Hi, Anna." And I thought, this is real. This is actually happening. I said hi, and we hugged. And when she started talking, I understood her, almost without effort, almost every word. Over those few days at the festival, we spent hours and hours together. My English was still quite poor. I needed more time to find words. Sometimes I needed a little help, but we talked, we laughed, and we connected. And now that girl and I are still friends. Last year, my husband and I even visited her in the UK. We spent a few days together. She showed us around her city, and we had the most wonderful time. And I told her that since we met, I had made friends from all over the world, that my life had grown in ways I never expected, and that meeting her had changed everything. I am so grateful for this second chance. The chance to realize it was never me. It was the method. I believe that what works for others should also work for me. And when it didn't, then I just had to accept the reality. not being able to learn a foreign language. That's not the end of the world, right? But it wasn't true. I gave up way too quickly, and I could have figured that out years earlier. Instead, I spent over a decade locked out of conversations, connections, and experiences. Because of a conclusion I never thought to question. I didn't think, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe there is a better way. I thought, this is proof that I can't. But when I finally started learning differently, listening to real people, speaking out loud, making it come alive, it clicked. Not because I suddenly became someone else, but because I finally found the right tools for me. The wall wasn't the language. The wall was a conclusion I reached too soon, from evidence that was never the full picture. So I want to ask you something. What is the thing that you've decided you're not capable of? Not the thing that you truly tried and failed at. The thing that you have never gave a proper chance because you knew from the beginning how it would end. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. And if it doesn't work out, that's not proof you are right. It's just information. Try again, maybe differently, and see what happens. Today, I am here, speaking in front of you in English. There is hardly anything further from my comfort zone. But I did it. And so can you.
Wonderful. Wonderful speech. Thank you, Anna. It's really beautiful. It's just so cool to hear the journey and that you're actually up here now. I know that, but especially even our conversation a few minutes ago, how this is so much out of your comfort zone. So, just quick question for you: how are you feeling? And I also want to give you an opportunity if there's anything that you wanted to say to people here. Sorry to put you on the spot, but if there's anything that you wanted to mention, feel free. But yeah, how are you feeling at the moment?
A bit shaky, to be honest. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm happy that I didn't faint in the middle of my speech as I was expecting, or I don't know, freaked out and didn't join at all or something. But yes, I am actually happy with how I did.
Wonderful. You crushed it. I can't really tell that you're tense or nervous or anything like that. I think it's not even,
Really,
very composed from my perspective. So yeah, did a great
thank you
job.
so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice one. So thank you so much, Anna. That was beautiful. Really loved this speech. Let me just share my screen. And there we go. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So next, we're going to move on to contestant number 2, which is Mr. Björn. So Mr. Björn, hailing from Germany. I love this photo, by the way. It's really awesome. Much better than my AI generated photo. Björn is the founder of the Quiet Leadership Collective, which is a really cool mission in terms of supporting introverted leaders. So if you haven't joined Björn's community, or if you don't know much about what he's doing, I highly recommend you ask him, especially if you consider yourself to be an introverted leader. I've had some really interesting conversations with Björn about it. A couple other things. Mr. Björn actually joined us 3 months ago when we ran the last World Stage Challenge competition. He was helping us as a judge. This time he is a participant. And perhaps I think about this in 2 ways. Björn is basically a professional keynote speaker. I'm imagining that, Björn, am I right in saying you do most of your speeches in German? Yeah, that's right. Cool. But I think it's amazing on one hand that you're here demonstrating your expertise here. And on the other hand, that many of our participants can go toe to toe with someone who does this professionally, which is amazing. So really, really happy that you're here to deliver this wonderful speech to us. Björn, the floor is yours. Let me just pin the screen.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
Great introduction, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you. I did a little stalk of your LinkedIn just to clarify the details there, so that was helpful.
Yeah, as an how do you say, person of life? No, person of
Person of influence.
no, I wouldn't say I'm that. I'm working on that. So
It's
yeah,
humble.
yes. Okay.
Awesome. All right, whenever you're ready.
So today I know who I am. I'm a sensitive, empathetic introvert, like Ben said already. I am someone who stays calm under pressure. I am someone who leads from integrity instead of performance. But it hasn't always been like that. So let me tell you the story that helped me become more myself. I remember sitting in my apartment years ago, listening to a speech by Arnold Schwarzenegger. He asked a simple question, and I can still hear his voice echoing in my head. Who do you want to be? He asked. Not what, but who. It sounded so easy, and I completely froze because I had no idea who I was. For most of my life, I had been told who I was supposed to be. Too quiet, they said. Too sensitive. Too thoughtful. I heard it as a child, and I heard it later as an instructor in the armed forces as well. And slowly, without realizing it, I adjusted. I reduced my sensitivity. I pushed down my emotions. I tried to fit into a version of leadership that looked kind of acceptable. And it worked on the outside. I performed well, I functioned, I was responsible. But inside, something was shrinking. I didn't notice it at first because suppression doesn't shout, it numbs. And then someday, the worst thing I could ever imagine happened. My mother died. And I couldn't cry. That was the moment that I understood I hadn't just adapted, I had disconnected. A few months later, I went to a Buddhist monastery. The first days were quiet, grounding, almost healing. I felt some inner calm again. And then day 5 came. The place filled up, 30 new people all around, whispering, rustling tracksuits, dishes clattering in the scullery. I couldn't find my usual seat by the window in the dining room to have a look outside at the beautiful landscape. I ended up near the tray return. Noise everywhere. At the table next to me, 2 people were talking during silent mealtime. And as I pointed at the sign that said, "Keep silence," one of them whispered to the other, "Shh, there's someone complaining." And I felt it immediately. Heat in my face, blood pumping in my chest, my jaw tight. It felt unfair, but kind of familiar as well. Blaming me for their fault? How dare she? But I didn't say a word. Later that day, I received the most powerful lesson from a nun. She said something that changed my life forever. She said, "Björn, it's not about them. The trigger is inside you. And now you can choose. You can let your inner child react, or you can take it by the hand." That sentence opened the door for me. The whispering wasn't the problem. The noise wasn't the problem. The meaning of all of that was created inside of me. And for the first time, I realized what it means that I am not my reaction and I am not my emotions. I can choose who I become right in this moment. And here's what I learned. Because that realization changed how I live and how I lead. Because pressure doesn't define you, it reveals what you believe about yourself. For years, whenever I failed in business, in leadership, even in bowling competitions, I attacked my identity. I am not good enough. I am not built for this. But now I see the difference. Failure is not failure is behavior. It's not identity. A bad day is execution, not existence. You will fail. There's no doubt about that. But it doesn't make you a failure. It makes you human. Here's what I didn't understand for years. The real danger is not failure. The real danger is confusing behavior with identity. When something goes wrong, we don't just question what we did. We question who we are. And that's where we lose ourselves. Pressure doesn't break you. Failure doesn't define you. Criticism doesn't shrink you. It only reveals what you believe about yourself. And the moment you understand that, you become dangerous in the best possible way. Because now you can choose. You can choose who you become when things fall apart. You can choose courage instead of conformity. You can choose your own way instead of someone else's expectations. You can decide who you want to be and grow into that at any time. That's what becoming more yourself really means. It means small moments matter. A dining room, a whisper, a trigger. The smallest story can become the beginning of something big if it touches your identity. It means having the courage to follow your heart, even when the world tells you you are too much or not enough. It means redefining yourself consciously instead of unconsciously shrinking. And yes, it also means failing. Failing, learning, adjusting, failing again. But failing as someone who knows who you are. That's inner leadership. And when you master your inner leadership, your outer impact aligns naturally as a natural consequence of your being. Not because you push harder, but because you stand clearer. So, if you just remember one thing today, remember this. You are not your worst moment. You are not your loudest critic. You are not the version of yourself that others once described. You are the person you choose to become under pressure. And the world doesn't need a more perfect version, not of you, not of anyone else. It needs a more true and aligned one. So have the courage to choose your own way. Define who you want to be. Fail better. And most important, become more yourself. Because the moment you stop trying to become someone else is the moment you finally become yourself. Thank you.
Beautiful speech, Björn. Thank you for sharing that with us. How are you today? How are you feeling? And I want to give you an opportunity as well. If there's anything that you wanted to share or talk about, you're welcome to. But first, just check in and find out how are you.
Really excited right now. So I feel it in my chest, blood pumping, right? So, but in the good way this time. Yeah, pressure is there, but I love being around so many good people. So that makes it much easier.
Yeah, wonderful. I find it a really interesting thing how we can still feel nervous and pressure even in an online meeting. It's just, I guess, the power of the brain and context.
Hmm.
But once again, cool, calm, and collected. I can't tell you. Very composed. as I'm sure everyone will be as well. So, was there anything that you wanted to plug or promote or anything like that at all, or are you good?
Yeah, there's one funny thing. Uh, the connection in our brain, being excited or being nervous, is exactly the same. So we can choose what we are. Are we excited or are we nervous? So I always choose to say I'm excited because it brings me in a position of power, and being nervous is something like shrinking, right? So, but when you look at it, it just does the exact same thing. Blood pressure goes up, thoughts get thin, all the stuff. It's exactly the same. So I always choose to be excited and not nervous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful reframe. I think it relates to the idea of also being that you're nervous because you care, or you're excited because you care, and not so much about making other people feel anything in particular. So I like that reframe for me as well. Yeah, which is a nice one. Awesome, Björn. Thank you so
Hope
much.
it helps the other ones.
Say again, sorry.
I hope it helps all the others who come next.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure it will. And take that advice. Maybe Dinushi, who is up next, maybe that will be helpful for her. So let me just share my screen once again. Nice one. Here we go. Brilliant. Moving along. Next is Dinushi. Dinushi, originally from Sri Lanka, she is a student, joined Oracy Club around October last year, and all of my interactions so far with Dinushi have been really wonderful. She brings a lot of value, professionalism, but also care in what she does to all of our workshops. So it's been a real pleasure for her to join us, along with a bunch of members who've come from a similar community. But yeah, really appreciate that you've joined. And most of all, it's been really great to hear your story and how you came to be in this competition, which I know you're going to be talking about today. Super inspiring. So, Dinushi, take your time. When you're ready, you can share your story with us. All right.
Thank you, Teacher Ben, for the great introduction. Okay. Let me begin with one simple sentence that describes my journey. A shy girl who was afraid to speak learned to find her voice and now helps others find theirs. That is my story. The story of from silent to strong. My journey of finding my voice. You know, there was a time when I was extremely shy. I was the quiet girl in every room, the girl who had ideas but never raised her voice, the girl who knew the answer but it stayed silent. Even though I completed my higher studies, even though I completed my professional qualifications, even though I had dreams, I remained silent. From the outside, everything looked fine, but inside, I was struggling. Because when you don't speak for yourself, the world speaks for you. So I missed opportunities, I avoided leadership roles, and many times I felt invisible. Inside, I had dreams, but fear kept me small. I remember situations where when I wanted to share my opinions, but my heart started beating fast, my voice started shaking, sometimes my mind went completely blank. Have you ever felt that? You want to speak, but your body says no. That was me for many years. Then one day, I asked myself a powerful question. How can I achieve my dreams if I'm always hiding? That question changed my life. I realized something important. If I wanted change, I had to create it. So I made a decision. Not a big decision, just one small, brave step. I decided to speak. The first time I forced myself to speak in a session. It was terrifying. My hands were shaking. I was afraid I would forget everything. So I wrote a few simple words on a piece of paper and I told myself, if fear makes you forget, just read. And that day I spoke 7 or 8 words. That's all. Not a speech, not a powerful presentation, just a few words. But for me, it was a victory. After that, I kept showing up again and again and again. I joined more speaking sessions, I joined global communities. Honestly, I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. Even at home, when I had no one to practice with, I stood in front of the mirror. I spoke to myself. Sometimes it felt strange, but I kept going. Because I understood something powerful. Growth feels uncomfortable. Every time I spoke, I became a little stronger. Slowly, the fear reduced. And something beautiful started happening. People began to message me. They said, I'm also shy. I'm also afraid to speak. Your story gave me courage. And I realized something life changing. The thing that once made me feel weak became my strength. My struggle became my message. Today, I'm not that silent girl anymore. Today, I lead sessions. Today, I speak in communities. Today, I encourage others to step out of their comfort zones. And I truly love what I do because I know how heavy fear feels. And I know that inside every shy person, there is a powerful voice waiting to be heard. Let me tell you something important. Shyness is not weakness. Fear is not failure. It is simply a starting point. If a girl who once trembled, who once forgot her words, can stand here confidently today, then anyone can grow. You don't need to become loud. You just need to take one small brave step. Maybe your step is saying one sentence, asking one question, sharing one idea. Because small courage repeated daily becomes confidence. Today, I want to help people who feel invisible. I want to help shy individuals believe that their voice matters. Because talent without expression stays hidden, and the world loses beautiful ideas when we stay silent. So, if you remember only one thing from my speech, remember this. Your voice deserves to be heard. Not when you are perfect, not when you are fearless, but now. Because confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is speaking even when your voice shakes. And if I can transform from silent to strong, so can you?
Yeah, well done. Nice job, Dinushi. I'm really obviously sensing the theme here between Anna, Björn, and Dinushi's speeches, all pretty much related to speaking and leadership. And that experience of maybe being a little bit quieter or more introverted and what it means to participate in things like this. So thank you so much for sharing with us. How are you feeling, Dinushi?
Oh my God. I have been trembling and so nervous since yesterday's morning, but now I'm feeling confident and I'm feeling good, teacher. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, once again, super composed. It was a fantastic speech. Couldn't tell at all. You did an amazing job. And I, once again, also know how much of a step out of the comfort zone this is. But yeah, you did an incredible job. So thank you so much for participating and being a part of it all. Nice. Awesome, guys. So we are halfway through the World Stage Challenge, and it wouldn't be the World Stage Challenge if it wasn't for some super fun games, because, you know, I love to play super fun games. So we're going to take a little 5-minute break and play some super fun games. These super fun games will give you the opportunity to win something that is extremely valuable, extremely sought after. It could be one of these, right? Maybe not, depends on you. But that is basically the prize. That's right, Björn. Shocked. So that is the prize. Now, if you're not in a position, if you're just tuning in, listening, that's completely fine. If you're not able to join in, that's cool as well. But, you know, I think you should give it a go if you are able to, because we love to win prizes. Also, welcome to a few people who just joined us. We had Kai, Stephen, who else came in? Tom's here. Paul sort of snuck in there as well.
So happy International Women's Day. I want to say hello to all the wonderful women here and just congratulate you. And you guys are all amazing.
Thank you, Kai. Yeah, happy International Women's Day. I realized I saw it on my phone and it just left my mind. So thank you for
Also,
that.
I can play a song on guitar later if you guys want. Just you know,
Cool.
just putting it out there.
Awesome.
Stand by me. I've been practicing it for like the last couple of days.
Well, yeah, we'll keep it in mind for a little bit later on. If everyone's still got bandwidth, then definitely for sure. Nice one. So, what we're going to do, what I'm going to ask you to do, so many fun games that we can play. There are basically 6. There are just a few little questions that are related to Oracy Club. So we're going to see who knows the most about Oracy Club. And what you need to do is I'm going to drop this link in the chat. You can join just by clicking that link. Let me turn off the pensive music. There we go. All right, awesome. Nice. Click the link, choose your favorite animal. And once again, there is Oracy Club merch up for grabs. So play hard, play nice. We'll give it a minute for us to log in. I'm actually just going to use my phone. It makes it a bit easier. Am I allowed to win my own merch? I think I'm allowed to play, right? Beautiful. All right, nice one. Thank you, Emma. Yeah. I'm allowed to play. Why not? Nice. All right. Very good. All streaming in. We'll give it just a little bit longer, and here we go. Pensive music. This game, what I'll mention, it's pretty straightforward, but it's a challenge. So you're basically one-on-one with another person, and you need to answer the question faster than them. That's basically it. And then if you do that, you will go to the next round. If you don't, then you'll get knocked out. And then I think you can still answer questions just for fun. So that's basically how it works. All right. Awesome. What happened to Javaria? Thought she was there down the bottom.
I don't know what happened.
Sometimes it can, there might be an issue. Do you want to try again?
Yeah, but it's like request error, name already taken. So should I change my name now?
Yeah, just doing a different name. Yeah. Gina. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, there we go. All right. I think there is a setting where people can join late anyway, but I'm going to get this rolling. So sorry if you didn't quite catch that one. All right. Let's jump in. Here we go. 16. All right. Answer questions quickly. Why is there no music? When was the first official World Stage Challenge? go. Maybe a few people came in a little bit late, but we did mention that just at the very beginning in super fast speed because I was a little bit nervous at the beginning of this. So apologies for that. All right, boom. Here we go. Next round. When was Oracy Club founded? Tricky question. Was it July 2024? July 2025? Beautiful. The answer is July 2024. And I think Emma and Javaria became just a couple of months after that period, a few months after that. Okay. Who was the winner of last year's World Stage Challenge? And it is? Who was it? Right, guys, it was me. No, just kidding. It was our beloved Javaria, who has returned as a finalist to the 2026 one as well.
Teacher, sorry, sir, who is playing the Javaria's role? I am Gina. Who is Javaria?
Is there also a Javaria there?
Yeah, I saw.
Someone's making fun of me. Which Oracy Club member is also known as But for reasons too hard to explain? Any thoughts and ideas here? Is it Emma, Stephen, Krista, Uzair? Who is it? Surprising number of people voted Emma and Uzair. That's funny. Even the butler, he's here, you see? He's here playing. All right. I don't think there's too many more rounds left. Keep it going. What is Oracy Club's tagline? Click the picture, you'll be able to see it. Again, it's there. Turn your speaking into influence, turn your expertise into influence. Speak to lead and inspire, turn your expertise into evil, perhaps. That could be pretty good, maybe for a Halloween version. All right, turn your expertise into influence. That's right, although that could change in the future. That's what we've got at the moment. Okay, guys, so there are 6 players left, going head to head. A few rounds to go. Ooh, tricky question. How many new members have joined Oracy Club? 2026. Very tricky question. The answer is 260, but we have had about 50-ish members leave as well, which balances out to where we're at the moment. All right. Head to head. Here we go. The final round. Why is it always me? I only had 6 questions. The same question as before. Let's go. Very important that we all know that. All right, let's see. Who was faster to answer this question? Victory goes to Emma. Congratulations, Gina, noble runner-up. Darina there with 4 wins as well. Emma, you are World Stage Challenge game winner. Please give a quick speech just before you're giving your actual speech.
Thank you for this win. Thank you for letting me win for everyone who went easy on me and who was against me. I was genuinely just guessing most of the questions. I got no clue. Like I really, really knew the answer for three of them, and the rest I just guessed, so it was luck. Beginner's luck.
Well, you know what? You gotta be in it to you gotta risk it to win the biscuit, as they say. All right.
Yeah.
Nice one. Congratulations, Emma. And just before we move along to the next round, this message is sponsored by our sponsor, Oracy Club. Just a very quick message from me, guys. I've got some news. Some of you, this will mean something to some of you. This will mean nothing to others. But Workshop HQ has returned, and I want to mention that I'm doing a masterclass about masterclasses on Wednesday, April 18. And the big focus around this is I'm basically looking for 10 people to work with the goal of creating a 5x ROI within 90 days. So if you're interested, you can have a look on the calendar to register. Either click that you'll attend the live session. I'm also going to be posting a little bit about this. If you want a recording, then please tick that you want a recording. Otherwise, it disappears forever until the next masterclass. But yeah, it'd be cool to see a few people come through for that if you're interested at all. So that one targeted mostly to the coaches in our community. All right. Awesome. Moving along. Next. Hey, I changed the flag. Okay, I made a mistake. Sorry, that is not the flag. It's Poland's flag. Anyway, Emma from Slovakia, an international relations graduate student, Oracy Club member, I believe, since it's probably before November 2024, but that's really when things got going. Emma is someone who believes that Delulu is the Solulu. All jokes aside, Emma has been a rock of this community, brings a lot of fun, quirkiness, but also great perspectives and learning and growth. So I think she's also someone who's extremely growth oriented. I'm very excited to see what it is that you do in the future, whether you're with us or just whatever it is you do in the world. We expect you to become a president of something at some point in the future. So without further ado, Lou, I'd like to welcome Emma.
Thanks for the warm welcome. And I hope
A lot
that
of
the
time on it.
Delulu is the Solulu will save me right now from nerves. So let's hope.
Cool. Take your time whenever you're ready.
Yep. Here's a question that will make some of you uncomfortable. If you could win by bringing all your friends to vote for you, even though you know you're not objectively the best, would you do it? Be honest, because right now we're all playing a game, and the rules aren't what we pretend they are. We say we value skill, merit, excellence, but what do we actually reward? Popularity. And here's the uncomfortable truth. I've played both sides of this game. Fourth year in Prague, student organization elections, international NGO. I was qualified. 3 languages, policy experience, government internships. I worked my ass off while juggling part-time jobs and 3 degrees. I thought that mattered. It didn't. People campaign with performance, not competence. They made promises they wouldn't keep. They showed up to parties but skipped meetings. They had perfect Instagram photos, and they knew how to work a room. One candidate barely did the work, but they had the charm, the smile. They won. And I was furious. So the next cycle, I changed my strategy. I didn't just work hard. I made sure everyone saw me working. I didn't just have ideas. I shared them in the most visible spaces. I built alliances. I made promises. Some I could keep, some I couldn't. I rallied my friends. I campaigned like a politician. I won. And the truth? I wasn't the best candidate, not even close. I was just best at playing the game. That victory felt hollow. because I'd proven that popularity beats skill, that perception beats reality, that if you bring enough friends to the battle, you win, even if you have no idea what you're doing. And this isn't just student politics. Look at actual politics. How many times have we watched someone with zero experience win elections? They manipulated emotions, rallied a base, lied with confidence. They brought their army, and their army voted. Skills? Irrelevant. Plans? Didn't matter. They just needed to be louder. But here's what happens when you build a kingdom on popularity instead of competence. Eventually, people notice. Eventually, they realize you can't actually deliver. Eventually, the gap between who you said you were and who you actually are becomes impossible to hide. And that's when the coup happens. Whether you're a king or a queen, be very careful what you do in your kingdom. Because the same people who voted you in, they're watching. And when they see through the performance, when they realize you lied about what you could deliver, about who you are as a person, they will take you down. And if you're sitting here thinking, wait, is she talking about me? Yes, I am. If you've been coasting on your network, your charisma, your ability to say the right thing at the right time, if you've been more focused on looking good than being good, you're not as great as you think you are. And people are starting to notice. Here's what I've learned playing both sides of this game. Popularity is a currency, but it's the world's most volatile currency. In a voting system, elections, competitions, social media, the person who mobilizes the most support wins. That's not corrupt. That's just math. But here's the trap we all fall into. We stop asking, am I actually good at this? And we start asking, do people think I'm good at this? And once you start optimizing for perception instead of reality, you're building a house of cards. In the short term, popularity wins. Every time. The loudest voice gets the platform. But in the long term, skill is the only thing that saves you. Because eventually, you have to deliver. Eventually, people expect results. Eventually, the performance isn't enough. And that's when the coup happens. So the real question is, am I building something real, or am I just building an audience? Because the people who actually last, they're not just visible, they're competent. They're both, and they know the difference. So here's my challenge, and it's going to sting. The next time you're about to rally your friends to vote for you, ask yourself, if this was a blind evaluation, if nobody knew my name, my face, my network, would I still win? And if the answer is no, then you're not the best candidate. You're just the most popular. And if you're the one voting, stop being lazy. Look past the performance. Look past the biggest following. Ask who's actually done the work? Who has the skill? Who's going to deliver when nobody's watching? Because here's what nobody wants to say out loud. Every time you vote for popularity over skill, you're building a system where mediocrity wins. And eventually, that system will turn on you too. Popularity can build you a kingdom, but only skill can help you keep it. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Hope everyone got Emma's warning today to vote carefully when you choose the, the winner of the World Stage Challenge. Nice, Emma. Thanks for that one. How are you feeling?
I'm much less nervous now that it's over.
So it's more like the anticipation, right? Like the build up toward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I channeled my inner president and it worked out, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, well, it sounded great. It was fantastic once again. Actually, I could tell that you're a little bit nervous, I think, because I've known you for a long time. But
Yeah.
yeah, didn't affect your speech at all. It was amazing. So thanks for sharing that with us. And I want to mention, I really love the speech because I feel like it touches on something that is a little bit more challenging, a little bit more, yeah, just more challenging. I'll leave it at that. And so it's a cool model, and it makes me think about sharing something that could step outside my comfort zone as well. And what are some of the issues and thoughts that we have that we might be afraid to be judged for, things like that. So thank you so much for sharing this topic. I really loved it. Amazing. Nice one. So let me come back. I'm gonna share my screen. Here we go. I fixed the flag because I felt terrible about that. So that's the Slovakia flag, I believe. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Moving along. Next is Javaria, hailing originally from Pakistan, a psychologist and psychotherapist, one of our OGs, a member since November 2024. What can I say about Javaria? A little fun fact here, a record for the most workshops ever attended, but so much more, so much more. One of the big personalities in our community, and not only the winner of the last World Stage Challenge, but once again, a finalist in this one. So really excited to hear your speech. Really happy that you're participating. Wonderful. Javaria, whenever you're ready, once again, stop share and I'll pin you to the screen. And then the floor is yours. And I see you taking a lot of quick, shallow breaths there. I'm sure that's good for
Yeah.
you. So,
Actually, it's Ramadan, and I just broke my, I think, fast,
fast, yeah.
and I'm a little bit, yeah. So I just empty my bottle, but
Okay.
still I'm feeling nervous. And thank you so much for this amazing, amazing introduction. Okay, so let's get started.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Have you ever been at the top and still felt completely lost? Imagine this. You are a topper, you are excelling, everyone around you is proud, your family is proud, you should be proud, right? But deep inside, there is this quiet, uncomfortable voice whispering, this isn't you. This isn't you. That voice almost cost me everything, but it also saved my life. I was curious child, the kind who never stopped asking why. Why does the sky changes colors? Why do people laugh when they are nervous? And why do people hurt the people they love? My teachers loved me for the habit of asking, but sometimes they were exhausted by me. But I couldn't help it. I needed to understand the why behind everything. Then one day, something happened that shook me to my core. Back in my country, there was a case, the Shahzeb Khan murder case. A young boy, barely 17 or 18 years old, was shot and killed simply for being asking someone to stop harassing his sister. I was still a child that time when I heard about it, but I still remember that I was sitting with that story for days, not just feeling sad, but asking something deeper. What happens inside a person that brings them to that point? What pain, what void, what silence leads them someone to there? And what about the family left behind? What does that grief feel like from inside? That question didn't leave me. It grew. First, it was what happened, then it became why it happened, and eventually it became how can I help? I started reading about human behavior, about the mind, about what drives people towards darkness and what pulls them back towards light. I didn't even know about the word psychology at that particular time. I just knew I was fascinated by the human soul. But here is where life got complicated. I was a pre-medical student. I cleared my entrance exam. I was studying medicines and I was a topper. By every external measure, I was succeeding. My family had doctors, engineers, and army officers. This was the path, this was the plan. And yet, every single day, something felt deeply, uncomfortably wrong. I would sit in class surrounded by textbooks and feel like I was wearing someone else's clothes. Nothing fit, nothing felt like me. I remember one night sitting on my bed, application forms open on my laptop, thinking, maybe they are right. Maybe I am being foolish. Maybe passion is a luxury, and maybe I should just adjust. I cried quietly that night, not because medicine was hard, but because I knew I was betraying myself. After months of ceiling staring, sleepless nights, and conversation with myself that no one else heard, I made the decision that I was going to leave the medicine and I was going to study psychology. The reaction was immediate. Relative whispered, people questioned my sanity. There is no scope, no future. Why would you throw everything away? Even at home, the environment became tense. And I understood it. My mother comes from a very strong medical background. There was pressure, expectations, fear. But there was one person who stood up for me, my brother. He looked at everyone and said, it's her life. Let her do it. Let's see what happens. That one voice in a room full of doubt changed everything. So I chose psychology, not because it was easy, but it was because mine. And now, years later, I won't stand here tell you that it was smooth. After my graduation, after my master's, after building myself professionally as a psychologist and psychotherapist, there were still days I sat alone and thought, why did I do this? Was I foolish? Resilience doesn't mean you never cry. It means you cry, you question, and then you ask yourself the real question. When I help someone, when someone says, I feel lighter after talking to you, does something inside me come alive? And every single time the answer was yes. And that taught me three things. First, curiosity is a compass. When something pulls at you, when you can't stop asking why, don't silence it. There is no distraction, that's direction. Second, the right path is rarely the comfortable one. The most meaningful decision in your life will almost always come with resistance from others and from yourself. That resistance is not a stop, it's a test. And third, in my profession, we say therapy begins within, but I believe that applies to every single person here. The work you do on yourself, understanding yourself, and being honest with yourself, choosing yourself. That is the foundation of everything you will ever build. So before I leave you with anything, I want to ask you something. Is there is a voice inside you, quite maybe uncomfortable, that you have been ignoring? A pull towards something that doesn't match the plan everyone else wrote for you? Here is what I have learned. You are not responsible for meeting the world's expectations of you. You are responsible for discovering who you truly are and having that courage to become that person. One day, someone will introduce you by your title, doctor, engineer, entrepreneur, CEO, founder. But the real question is, when they say your name, will it feel like you? 1 year from now, 5 years from now, you could look back at this moment as the day you decided to listen to that voice. But the question is, will you? Thank you.
Well done, Javaria. Beautiful speech once again. I really love this. It gets me thinking a lot about the journeys that people have when they become a therapists. I think it's really interesting, actually. And a lot of people have all sorts of stories and reasons why they enter that sort of space. So thank you for sharing. Oh, Alan, I've been brushing up on his. Sorry, yeah, Javaria, how are you feeling? How's it all going?
Okay, I'm first of all, I'm so impressed what Helen has written. Oh my God, I feel exposed right now, me, Uzair, and Emma, because I think Urdu. He's writing Urdu there. Okay,
Okay.
so first I'm feeling
Alan's full of surprises.
so
Sorry.
I'm feeling so wonderful. Before that, I was totally cold because I was not eating for the full day. But one thing I would say, for the last time, for the last World State Challenge till now, I can feel like I am more comfortable. I feel like this is my space. I can be vulnerable. I can so yeah, I think there is a comfort level, and I worked on my expressions as well. Like last time it was so expressive. I was mostly using my hands and face gestures, but this time I was mindfully not using my facial expressions and had movements so frequently as I normally do. So yeah, that was my thing. So yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, that's what it's all about, and to contribute to just allowing you to be a little bit more comfortable in this type of settings. I know you have goals to speak on stages and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's music to my ears. So congratulations, well done. I know last time you you almost didn't do it, but this time there was less resistance. So you must be getting more comfortable with the process, which is wonderful. Thank you so much, Javaria. Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, that's it. So I'll see you guys later. No, just kidding. There is one more. We have one more speaker. Anyone know who it is? I think I'm not sure. Not sure. Anyone got any ideas? Let me share my screen.
Ustad.
This guy, Mr. Uzair, hailing. Oh, I forgot the last point. Sorry. Hailing from India, the founder of the Executors, a nice community there, focusing on productivity. And I think if you haven't gone in there and had a look, you definitely should. I think everyone who is active in Oracy Club should hopefully be inside there as well. Uzair only joined us in December. Feels like you've been with us for years, to be honest. You're definitely one of the Oracy Club fam. And sometimes you don't like to wear a shirt, but I know that it can be hot in India, so that's fine as well. And you're very handsome. We all know that too. So without further ado, and without embarrassing you anymore, I'd like to give you the stage, and whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much for embarrassing me. I like it.
You're welcome.
I want you to think about the last time you blamed someone else for where you are in life. Your parents, your friends, your circumstances, or the country that you were born in. Maybe it was today. Maybe it was yesterday. I get it. Because I used to be that person. I blamed everyone but myself for not having what I wanted. It was always someone else's fault, someone else's responsibility. Never mind. Until one movie ticket changed everything. So let me tell you a story. A few years ago, my friends invited me to watch a movie. Come with us. They said, we'll have a great time. And I wanted to go, but I had a problem. I didn't have money for a ticket. So I told them the truth with full transparency. And without hesitation, they said, you don't even have to worry about it. All you have to do, just come with us. We went to the theater. They paid for my tickets. And we watched the entire movie together. And when it was over, they asked me, like, how was it? How was the movie? And I said, like, it was good. It was a really great movie. I said with a smile on my face, as always. But inside, I was dying. The whole time I sat in that theater, I wasn't watching the movie. I was drowning in shame, in pain, the kind of pain that you simply cannot put it into words. I can't even afford a movie ticket. That thought kept repeating in my head over and over and over countless times. And when I got home that night, I was sick. I was sick and tired of not having my own money. Sick and tired of depending on others. The pain was so intense that something inside me cracked open. And in that moment, I made a decision that I am going to make my own money. I will never ask my parents for money. I'll earn it by myself. But here's the real breakthrough. It wasn't just about money. It was about realizing something much bigger, that it was all my fault. Not my parents' fault, not my friends' fault, not the country that I was born in. It was all my fault. I was the one responsible for where I was. And I would be the one responsible for where I'd go in the future too. That mindset shift from blaming others to taking full responsibility and ownership changed the entire trajectory of my life. That shift didn't just help me once, and it keeps me helping to this day as well. And in February 2025, I decided to learn English and start talking to people professionally. People I never imagined that I had the courage to speak with, like all of you guys. I was terrified. I'd book calls with people and then cancel at the last minute. My Wi-Fi isn't working, family emergency, friends are coming over, excuses after excuses after excuses. But then I'd ask myself, Uzair, whose fault is this? And I knew the answer. I knew the answer in my head. So I said, fuck it. I'm getting on the call anyway. One call became two, two became three, three became a week, then a month. And suddenly, the voices that were telling me that I couldn't do it, they were gone. Like they never existed in the first place. And that's when I realized that I had evolved myself into a new person. And then came my first client. The fear was there. The imposter syndrome was screaming. The anxiety was real too. But I was conscious this time. I was aware. And I did what I knew what I had to do. That's how I signed my first ever client. And you know what the first thing I did with that money was? I called my friends. Let's go watch a movie. My treat. And I paid for their tickets. And they jokingly said, like, Uzair is rich now, Uzair is rich now. It was hilarious. But the feeling that I had in that moment, unimaginable. I simply cannot put it into words. It was one of the best feelings that I ever had. Here's what I want you to understand. When you take full ownership of your own actions, that's when the real magic starts to happen. So I want you to ask something. Look around you where you are in life. Look around and ask yourself, are you happy with it? If not, here's the most important question that you ever answer. Who is responsible for it? Because the moment you realize that the answer is you, that's the moment everything changes. Just like it did for me with a movie ticket. Thank you so much. That's all about my presentation. That's it.
Great speech, my man. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My fans, you know what I'm saying?
Oh God. You went from like lacking confidence to having way too much. I don't know what we're gonna do with you next. Yeah, well done. Beautiful speech once again. I really loved it. It's really cool to see you doing this for the first time as well. Never seen you give a
Yeah.
speech. So, how are you feeling? How was it, in your opinion?
I'm feeling really great, to be honest. Jack knows it. The whole time I was talking to Jack, like I'm very nervous. I'm not gonna do it. I have a call. I was telling Jack all the excuses, but Jack motivated me as well. He's a great guy, one of my best friend on school. Yeah, man, I'm feeling really, really, really confident now. Yeah, great.
Awesome. It's fantastic. Yeah, you did an amazing job. Love the speech. I'm really looking forward to seeing you reflect on this, in another like 3 years' time or 5 years' time, what this experience will mean
Yeah,
for you. It's a beautiful story, powerful one. So yeah,
thank
thanks
you.
for sharing that with us. And without further ado, let me just share my screen. All right. Awesome, guys. So that pretty much wraps up the World Stage Challenge for 2026 Q1. There's a few things that I want to share. This competition, so to speak, was never really intended to be so much of a competition per se. It was really just about getting people up. What I really wanted to prove is that everyone is capable of being on the stage, and actually putting together a really meaningful speech isn't that hard, in my opinion. The biggest barrier is the mental barrier and feeling like, no one wants to listen to what I have to say, or, like I, don't have enough experience or anything like that. And I just wanted to get more people, more reps in. That's really the origins of this. We turned it into a competition to add a bit of weight. That's really the main part, to add some stakes to it so that that it's real to some degree, so that you do feel nervous. And then hopefully once you've done this 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, it becomes easy and it makes other things that you do much easier. So just wanted to mention that. I could have mentioned that at the start. I feel like it's a good time to do that now. I want to say, first of all, thank you to our finalists, but also a big thank you to everyone who participated, because it takes a lot of time and effort. And I know it's one of those things that in the back of your mind, you'll be like, oh, I've got like the World Stage Challenge is coming or whatever, and I have to do the speech. And I know what that process is like. There's a lot of effort, there's a lot of tug of war mentally that goes on. But, for those who showed up, it's amazing. If you didn't make it, that's okay as well. We just want to acknowledge that this is all part of the process, and hopefully we'll see you next time. So thank you so much to all the participants, everyone who created a signature speech and participated in this competition. Also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who voted, because once again, without people who voted, without people who watched the videos, who commented on those posts, none of this really exists. It just becomes a bunch of us all just talking to each other. And once again, it makes it real, right? Gives it value. And I had no doubt that once people shared something more personal, that it has value, right? If you condense something important into an 8-minute speech, it becomes deeper and more valuable. So thank you for taking the time to watch a few of the speeches. If you watched all of them, that's amazing. But even just to watch a few and drop some comments for your buddies, that's amazing as well. So that was really great to see this time round. There's a bunch of shout outs for people there. What I should do actually is just I want to shout out specifically to the people who participated, which was Anna, Betsaida, Björn, Daniel, Darina, Dinushi, Emma, Javaria, Justin, Mel, Stephanie, Uzair, and Vasi. They were our participants for this round. So big shout out to you guys. Nice one. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So last thing, I wanted to there's actually one more vote this time, which we're voting for the final place. So how that works is you have up to 3 votes to give. I wanted to really just focus on mostly, because I did a few DMs to get people to tell them about the previous vote. But this one, like if you attended, I feel like that's the main people that I want ideally to vote in this one. You've seen everyone stand up there, and hopefully there was 1 or 2 speeches that really resonated with you. So I'm going to drop that link in the chat. Just give me 1 second. And we'll have voting open for a couple of days. But if there's someone there right now who jumped out at you, then I encourage you to vote. Let me just drop this link in. Oh, it's the long one. Sorry, give me 1 second. Cool. All right. Cool. Let me do that. There we go. Dropping that link in there if you want to go in and vote for the speech that really resonated with you today. That's the #1 spot. The #1 winner gets 3 months of premium with me. Lucky them. Hopefully that's not punishment for them. But that will be focused on basically creating a masterclass and doing everything that we can to promote that. That's pretty much what the offer involves. And for anyone, all the free premium guys, you're getting some more information's coming. I'm just trying to get all that sorted at the moment. So yeah, it is a big deal. It's highly valuable. So think carefully and choose someone's speech that you feel like was the one today. All but voting up to 3 people. Awesome. Great. Last thing before we go, I want to take a quick little group picture as well. So say again.
Can I vote for myself?
You can vote for yourself, yes, but I will see it that you voted for
Oh,
yourself in the email, and I will judge you heavily. No, just kidding. Go for it. Yeah, nice one.
Sir, is it one vote? I'm so still confused. Or 3 votes?
You get three votes. Yeah.
Oh, done.
It's just you can vote for up to 3 people. Yeah. All right, cool. Nice one. So I'm going to take a quick screenshot, if you guys don't mind. And if you are offline, if you want to be in our screenshot, that's fine. If not, you can stay, keep your face hidden. That's completely fine as well. All right. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Beautiful. Nice one. And the last note before we leave, have a wonderful week. I'm going to be in touch once again with some stuff about community. I'm going to be hosting a very quick little after party as well. If you want to log on and just have a little chat after this, there'll be just a random hangout. So feel free to come and join for that. There's a lot of last reminders as well. Also, I encourage you to write a quick reflection about this experience as well, so we can tell more people about what that was for you. I've actually got a really beautiful example here. You don't have to write as long, but there's this one here that Mr. Allen helped us do last time. This was a really beautiful one that he wrote for us and just explaining his experience. Once again, I hope that doesn't intimidate you, but it's really great to see some of these reflections come through. Pays appreciation to everyone who was here and participated. So you can think about that. I'll be doing mine today and probably tomorrow because it's quite late on my end. All right, that's enough reminders and stuff. See you guys at the after party if you're coming through. All right.
Singing.
Sinking?
Somebody was, singing.
Oh, we can save that for the
Who
after
wants to
party.
sing the
Where's
song?
Kai? Is Kai still here?
No.
No, he's gone. Okay, cool. But that's an after party thing. I don't really want to do that here. So nice one, guys. Have a good one. See you later. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.